this is the main instrument, the main tool, if you like, for handling the Horizon Europe program, which is the funding and tenders portal. So the funding and tenders portal is the key entry point for all participants in the funding programs managed by the European Commission and other EU bodies. And you can search for calls, either for proposals for Horizon Europe projects or tenders. You can learn about how you can participate. There are extensive guides and tutorials on how to use the portal and how you can do things in general in the context of the program and not just the program. You can find partners to work together. So there's a very extensive partner search functionality. And you can also go through past projects in order to see who has done what, who has participated where, and stuff like that. And of course, you can manage and submit your proposal. So before using the portal, or more specifically, before actually accessing in more detail the services that the portal has to offer, you need an EU login account, just any web platform, but also you need to register your organization in order to get a 9-digit participant notification code. So think it like a European VAT number or something like that. So in order to submit a proposal, in order to actually participate in any of these schemes, you need to have a PIC number, which, however, doesn't necessarily mean that you have registered your company. So it just have to be an idea, or you have the name, you have the people that are going to be in it, but you haven't registered yet. You haven't created the company yet. You can get a PIC number and you can participate in proposals. However, as soon as the proposal is successful and you get granted, you have to establish, you have to register your company in order to be eligible to actually participate in the project and get the funds. So the sooner you complete these steps, these basic steps, the better. So the sooner you get the account and the sooner you set up your organization, get your PIC number, the better. So what are the next steps? Let's say you don't have already a consortium, you don't have someone that you work with, and you want to check by yourself what are the open calls. So you can go into the project search part of the portal and check with keywords, with programs, with a lot of different filters. What are the current, the ongoing, the forthcoming, or even the closed projects, the calls in Horizon Europe. So this is how we can search for calls and topics. Right now, the pub list, if you like, calls from the European Commission extends up to January 2023, and they are expected soon to release the rest of 2023 and early 2024. So even if there aren't right now calls that may be of interest for you or your company, your projects, or you can find something that fits your needs, it's always good to come back after a few months and see what else has opened, or even more frequent intervals to see what other things are available for you to check and assess. So as we said, you can get general information, you can find specific information about the topic and the destination. You can access the documents, the templates. We will see in a bit how to do that. And there are also additional information if you continue to scroll down. So there is a frequently asked questions on the topic. There are ways to get support. Okay, so you can find a lot of different support services to help you guide you through. So you have frequently asked questions about the portal itself, the access to the national contact points, as we saw before, as well as a lot of other helpful guides. The partner services, we will go through that as well, and specific updates on the call. So it's always nice to check this section here, because you can see information that have to do with updates that weren't originally in the call or in the documents published by the European Commission. So something that has changed, for example, the submission date, which is always here on top. You can see when is the deadline. So, for example, this is by the 27th of September, 5 o'clock Brussels time, and these might change for various reasons. So it's always good to check for any updates on the call. I don't know if I missed anything at this point. Um, you can also see the other part of the platform that has to do with competitive calls. Just like what we said, these are ad hoc calls. So depending on the projects that are currently running and whether they have promised such calls or not, these are all published. They are mandatory to be published on the funding and tender portal. So if there are any calls, you will find them here. So you can check in one of the calls. So for example, EIT, the European Innovation and Technology Institute, the raw materials part has a booster call, which is more or less like an accelerator. And you can get information about the actual open call, the publication date, the deadlines, the cutoff dates, the expected duration of participation, how long you will be within this project. So there's a call to actually submit again your proposal. Usually it's quite shorter in duration than Horizon Europe projects. It has less funding, as we saw before, but it has a lot of different requirements, contrary to Horizon Europe, which is more streamlined and more standardized. For example, here we can see that it's even higher, the budget, so it's 200,000 euros per project. And you can see that by the total available budget, you can estimate how many projects will actually be funded. So if we have 2 to 3 million, let's say 3 million with an average of 200,000 per project, so we're talking about 15 projects, for example. And of course, you have information about the submission process. So here they have a dedicated platform, the evaluation process, the criteria, which is from the call text. So you can see here very elaborate details and guidelines on what exactly is this call about, how proposals will be evaluated, what are the award criteria, the timeline, as well as other restrictions or other criteria in general for the call. Kostas, I don't know if I missed anything, if you would like to showcase anything else on the platform right now, or if you would like to let us know how to use it efficiently.
Well, I think this is fine for now. We have in store some more functionalities that are there in terms of, finding some people to work with on a topic. How do we find out what is the right topic for us? And this is a very, very good question. And there's no easy answer. And I can tell you right now, and spoiler alert, there is never a perfect topic, or at least it's very hard to find. So how do we typically approach, our selection process? We try to understand a little bit, just if we have an idea or a solution already available that we would like to progress or we would like to advance. We try to understand whether this actually fits part of the topic. And this is very, very important. The topics also among the ones that Apostle showed us, as you might have, already noticed, they are quite broad. They're quite generic. They are providing us with where we want to arrive at, and then it is up to the proposers to find out how to get there, how to produce the expected outcome. So there is really, really a very open field. And in this open field, you rarely have a solution or an idea that can cover really, really everything. So if you have an idea or a solution that can address part of the outcomes or part of the scope of the topic, then you are in the right direction. That means that you, of course, have to read the topic and the work program itself very, very carefully. You need to understand whether your idea could fit there. Beyond that, and to be more specific, beyond the state of the art is where your idea should be positioned at. So this is a program for research and innovation. So you do need to have an idea or a solution that is somehow either filling a gap that is currently there, or at least it advances your scientific or your market field a little bit further than is what is currently available. And what we get quite often is that many people, including ourselves oftentimes, we think we are beyond the state of the art. We believe that nothing has never been done. We assume there is no competition or whatever, but in practice, this is rarely the case. There's always something out there that we are missing out. So what we do is we do our research. We have a good idea. We believe it could fit the topic, obviously with some more, complementary stuff around it. But we do our research then. We do our research to understand, is our idea already done, or is our solution, among many, many other similar solutions out there? So if everything goes well and, we identify that this kind of solution is actually not as readily available or as well developed out there, then we go on to the final stage where we try to understand, is our solution actually relevant or to the European Union, or does it have like a potential European-wide applicability? So the Commission is not typically looking for an ad hoc fix or a fix for a very particular context or a very particular region or a very particular industrial problem that our company might have. They are looking for solutions that can be kind of replicated. They can be adopted by a wider group of organizations, a wider group of people, so as they can have the maximum impact, whether this impact is for the economy or for the society as well. So we need to understand whether this is, of course, relevant for not just our own case, but also for other cases around Europe. And we also need to understand whether our solution is possible to be implemented, to be tested, to be demonstrated, or in any way whether it is feasible within the time frame and the budget constraints of the topic. So if everything is aligned, like the planets and our solution with the topic, then we think we got something going on, and we try to understand how we can build a proposal. A key dimension here this is to actually have a proposal or the idea, to, how can I say this, to nurture it alongside with our partners, with people who believe they can support this idea and they can work with us in order to get the project going. In that regard, it is important, however, not to lose focus, especially if you are a startup, if you are kind of a little bit more focused on bringing your specific solution or your specific product to the market. You need to ensure that at the end of the day, the work that you will be doing or the role you will be assuming in the project is in line with your strategic objectives. So you need to be careful also from the get-go to when you are working on your idea to align this with where you need to be going in order to ensure the growth of your business and any other kind of goals you might be looking to achieve through this Horizon Europe project, whether this is, for example, to expand your innovation network or even get access to another market through this project. So more or less, this is like a few key ideas about what to assess when you're looking at a topic and when you are trying to understand whether your solution, whether the idea you have might be fit for this kind of topic, and whether this at the end of the day will actually provide some value to your business. And again, there's no perfect topic, so you might need to compromise somehow along the way. Another important, so you have identified a good topic, you have some idea. So what do you do next? You try to find partners is the answer. You try to find partners to build a consortium and develop your idea, sketch out your project, prepare the proposal. These are the next steps. But let's focus here on the next step, which is the finding the proper partners, the consortium of partners. So if you haven't already, but you are willing to get into the game, to start, kind of this networking process that you need to go through in order to find partners to work with, start with a slide deck. It doesn't have to be too big or too fancy, just a few slides explaining a little bit who you are. I mean, probably not as a person per se, but your organization, what it is all about, what's your mission, what are you delivering, your products, your services, your expertise, whether this is kind of any specific technology, software, or other solutions, whatever you can bring into the table. It might sound simple, or you might believe it's not necessary, and it probably is not necessary, but it will make your life a lot easier. It will help you convey your messages or be able to pitch your organization, the value you can bring into a consortium, a lot better. And it works in practice. So where we start? So we have our slide deck. Where do we start, try to find partners? The way we do it, and we typically start from there, is our own innovation network. So people, businesses that we have worked in the past in similar domains, whether this is for innovation purposes or whether this is for private projects that we do for services commercially. It is as simple as just sending an email, sharing the topic and asking, hey guys, are you working on this topic? We find it very interesting. We can, support you in this regard and what have you. It's really faster, and it's a lot easier to work with people that you already trust. They already trust you, and you have worked well in the past, rather than trying to, find new partners that you will need to start building this trust from the beginning. And it's also quite appreciated from the Commission. Oftentimes, they like to see in proposals partners, organizations that have worked and they have delivered well in the past together. Obviously, having your own innovation network, of course, is it's not a common thing it's not given that every organization will have its own innovation network, especially if we're starting up, then it might be not existent at all. So another way to approach this networking process is to go through the topic-specific partner search announcements. Quite a big title, but in essence is, under each topic, you will more or less find organizations that are either looking for some specific expertise to draw in their own consortium, or you will find partners that are offering some kind of expertise or solution or whatever that are looking for consortia. So you can definitely use that function, and you should definitely, in fact, if you don't have an innovation network. But the caveat here is that typically you will find a lot more offers for expertise rather than requests for specific expertise to draw you in a consortium. And even if there are some specific requests for expertise, they tend to go out very quickly because there's a lot more offer than demand when it comes to writing a proposal. But it can definitely work at times, and it is worth. I mean, the effort is not as much. I think Apostles will kind of guide us through it in a little bit. So give that a try. A final way, and of course it's not an exhaustive list, there are many ways to kind of try to find and meet partners, but definitely a good avenue would be the Enterprise Europe network as well. This is the largest network for innovation support, co-founded by the Commission, that is exactly tasked with informing organizations how they can innovate, how they can go international, how they can grow. And matchmaking is one of their key services. So they typically quite often organize a lot of what they call brokerage and matchmaking events. So they bring together a lot of different organizations under specific thematics, and you can very quickly, kind of arrange a meeting with a specific organization that you believe would be, relevant to work with, and you can exchange with them and try to set up a business opportunity or an opportunity to work together under a project. I don't know, Apostles, if you would like to also press the link here just to give our audience an idea of what we're talking about. So here you can see a calendar. You can find this, I think, at the website of the Europe Enterprise Network. They have a lot of different events. You can see here the thematics, when they are organized, where they are organized. And if you go, for example, for the SMART one, the first one, and technical textiles, you can see they have even further information. Now, if you dig in through this, a whole lot of information there, and you scroll down, in essence, this is what I mean, you will find out there is a link to the actual website of the meeting, of the brokerage event. It's a little bit up and a little bit more here. No.
Sure.
Further low. Here you are.
This.
So thanks, Apostles. So here you will see the actual website of the event. You have the information from the organizers. What is important here or essential for you to check out is on the right hand of the screen where we have the actual participants. So you can see here which organizations and more specifically the people who will be part of the event. If you just click on one of those links, you will see a list of them, and then you can search and learn more about their profile, what they're looking for, and you can even book dates with them beforehand, before the event. So it's a very direct, a very easy way to get in touch with organizations and try to get yourself into a project.
Now, regarding the partner search, I will just go through some of the services, again, of the Funding and Tenders portal. So there is the overall partner search. So if you haven't identified a specific call and you just want to see what's out there, you can just do a wide area search, which is not a very easy thing to do. But yeah, you can still do it. So you can find a lot of interesting people here. You can click on the organizations that so that you can see more information about how they identify themselves, what are the keywords that they have used for their company, as well as whether they have participated in the program so far and with what role. And of course, you can see their collaborations, their projects, and their announcements. Now, if we go to the specific topic, so we were here before about the European rivers. There is a partner search. I will find it hopefully right away. Partner search announcement. Okay, I can never find it for some reason. Anyway, so you can click here and it can get you back the results of the offers and demand for this specific topic. So for example, this is an offer from a large research center in Cyprus. So the Cadet Center for the Advancement of Research and Development in Educational Technology Limited, for example. I don't have a clue what that is. It's in Cyprus. It's an NGO, has a vast experience, 33 projects funded. Their keywords, where they have participated, their collaborations, their projects, as well as their more details about the requests. So these are the offers that Kostas was explaining. And of course, by clicking, you can contact the organization if you think that their offer is of interest for you. Now, just like what Cadet did, they went in the portal and they threw themselves in and they provided an offer. This is something that you can also do. You can, after creating your profile and getting your PIC number, you can jump into the portal and you can provide your offer. So what is that you're offering? What is your keywords, your expertise, your value proposition? And in very rare occasions, to be honest, somebody might contact you to collaborate.